Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 surprising public figures who pose nude. The public figures that we're looking at in today's video have certainly gotten their 15 minutes of fame, so you've probably seen them in the news. What may surprise you about the people in this video, though, who generally caught the public's attention for other reasons, involvement in a scandal, a shocking medical miracle, membership in the First Family, or even an appearance on a talk show, is that they've all been paid to strip down for photos or films. Importantly, we're talking about them doing this voluntarily here. This list doesn't include anyone whose image was captured without consent or was exposed to the public gaze without permission. So, with that, let's get started. Number 10. The Women of Enron. When you hear Enron, you probably think of the shady accounting practices and corporate deception that led to what was the largest corporate bankruptcy in US history. And when you think of Enron employees, you might envision the duplicitous execs who ran the company, which once had a market value of over $60 billion. Alternatively, you might think of the thousands of lower-level staff members who weren't aware of the crooked dealings in the C-suite, but lost their jobs and pension plans when the fraud was exposed and the company's stock became worthless. But what might not be top of mind is another view of the employees of the ill-fated energy company. The Women of Enron was a feature in the August 2002 issue of Playboy, which featured 10 women who worked at Enron when it went belly up. While featuring ex-employees of a failed company bearing it all seems like an odd idea, apparently Enron employees leapt at the chance, with more than 300 vying to pose. One employee who made the cut, Kerry Lorenzo, expressed her desire to maximize the opportunity, saying, "I'm going to ride this 15 minutes of fame and try to make it 1,000,000 hours." Unfortunately for her, her flash of glory was definitely on the fleeting side. Number 9. Melania Trump. Melania Trump certainly looked every inch the First Lady the day her husband Donald was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. Wearing a Ralph Lauren ice blue dress and jacket combo with matching gloves and sporting a classic updo, Melania Trump chose a look that wouldn't have been out of place in Jackie Kennedy's closet. However, while her sartorial choices since her husband has become president have been elegant and understated, during her modeling career, Melania's wardrobe was often more risque, including a couple of shoots where she wore nothing at all. In one 2000 shoot for British GQ, Melania, who was just dating Donald at the time and using her maiden name Naus, posed on a fur blanket wearing nothing but diamonds, heels and handcuffs. In an earlier spread for a French magazine, the future Mrs. Trump shared everything but the heels. Defending his wife after the photos resurfaced in 2016, Donald noted, "Melania was one of the most successful models. This was a picture taken for a European magazine prior to my knowing Melania. In Europe, pictures like this are very fashionable and common." Number 8. Levi Johnston, Bristol Palin's ex. Levi Johnston is best known as the baby daddy of former fiancée Bristol Palin's first child. Levi got his first taste of the spotlight when his girlfriend's mum, Sarah Palin, ran for vice president. When Bristol's teen pregnancy and their purported engagement became public, Levi suddenly got more attention than a small teen from Alaska could have previously imagined. However, while Levi's relationship with Bristol was short-lived, the two split in 2009 shortly after the birth of their son, Levi sought to extend his time in the limelight and to improve his financial position by dropping his Carhartts to pose for Playgirl. Explaining his decision to disrobe for the magazine, Levi noted, "I just get naked. That's what I do." The 2010 photo shoot, in which Levi didn't quite bear it all, did include some shots of Levi posing with a hockey stick. The bemused Levi subsequently said that the gay fanbase he developed post-Playgirl was great, though he noted the contrast growing up in Wasilla, where he had never even seen a gay guy, I don't think. While there were rumors that Levi would pose again for the magazine, this time in a more comprehensive way, this surprising Playgirl model has yet to disrobe for round 2. Number 7. Tonya Harding. What do you do when you're a former Olympian who's banned from your sport for life after pleading guilty to hindering the investigation of an attack on your greatest rival? If you're Tonya Harding, you sell the rights to a video of your honeymoon night with your ex-husband to Penthouse magazine for $200,000 plus royalties. The sale occurred just before Tonya's ex, Jeff Gillooly, went to prison after pleading guilty to racketeering for his role in planning the attack on a rival figure skater, Nancy Kerrigan, which took place just before the 1994 Olympics in Lillehammer. When Tonya was allowed to skate in the Olympics, as it was not proven that she was involved in the attack, she placed 8th, while Kerrigan, who had largely recovered from the blow to her knee, took the silver. After the sale of the tape, Tonya found other ways to profit from her infamy, enjoying an unspectacular boxing career where her most notable match was against Clinton accuser Paula Jones. She also would appear on the screen again, this time clothed, as a commentator on True TV's The Smoking Gun Presents World's Dumbest. Number 6. John Wayne Bobbitt. John Wayne Bobbitt first came to the public's attention for the chop heard around the world when his wife Lorena cut his penis off when he was in bed. She then left the scene, drove off, and hurled it into a field. Lorena, who alleged her husband had repeatedly abused her, was eventually found not guilty of malicious wounding by reason of insanity. Luckily for John, his penis was found and reattached in a methodical 10-hour surgery. Almost a year later, John shared the success of his surgery in an adult film, John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut. John, who described his reattachment surgery as part of history, said he took the film role to basically show everybody that I'm healed and fully functional. John, who went on to star in additional adult films, including Frankenpenis, claims, "My movies were the best-selling adult videos in history." While John's attack served as a catalyst for his adult film career, most men would agree that he paid a fairly steep price for his time in the limelight. Number 5. Patti Davis, Ronald Reagan's daughter. Melania Trump isn't the only member of the first family to have bared it all. Another presidential family member has also posed in the buff, though Patti Davis, Ronald Reagan's daughter, did so well after her dad had left the White House. Davis, who took her mother's maiden name to be able to make her own way without the associations of the Reagan name, didn't always agree with her parents, often publicly championing liberal causes. She also wrote a quasi-autobiographical novel and then a tell-all autobiography that detailed her battles with her famous family. In 1994, Patti posed for Playboy, landing on its cover in a pose sure to horrify conservatives the world over. In an interview with More magazine, Davis insisted that, "I knew, given my reputation as the rebellious first daughter, even though my father was out of office by then, that I'd get criticized for doing Playboy. But I didn't care. I wasn't doing this despite my parents. I was doing it for me. Despite all the criticism I got, which was plenty, I'm still proud of that shoot." Davis, who sees her physique as a testament to the role of fitness and her success in overcoming addiction, disrobed to pose again, this time for More magazine in 2011 at the age of 58. Number 4. Senator Scott Brown. Scott Brown surprised the political establishment when, in 2010, as a Republican Massachusetts state senator, he upset the Democratic candidate Martha Coakley, the Massachusetts Attorney General, widely viewed as the heavy favorite, to win the Senate seat that was left by the death of Ted Kennedy. While Brown didn't win re-election, his electoral success in 2010 wasn't the only surprise that emerged as the result of his campaign. Before he began his political career, Scott Brown had been dubbed America's Sexiest Man by Cosmopolitan magazine, stripping down to pose for the centerfold of the June 1982 issue. Brown went on to model for other ads during law school, but nothing as racy as his Cosmo shoot. After his election, the senator defended his birthday suit centerfold, saying, "You don't see anything. It's Cosmo, not Playgirl." In an interview with Barbara Walters, Senator Brown advanced possibly the oddest argument a public figure has ever made when confronted with the risque photos from his youth. He said,
"My grandmother saw it, she laughed."
Number 3. Paula Jones. Paula Jones rose to national attention when she accused President Clinton, then governor of Arkansas, of sexually harassing her when she worked as an Arkansas state clerk. After a long court battle, President Clinton finally paid Jones $850,000 to drop her case, though the fallout from the lawsuit eventually led to Clinton's impeachment by the House. In the wake of the accusations, Jones was vilified by Clinton allies who sought to portray her as a trashy opportunist. James Carville, a Clinton advisor, once said of harassment allegations against Bill Clinton, "Drag $100 through a trailer park and there's no telling what you'll find." But Paula quickly irritated her allies on the right as well when she decided to bear all in a Penthouse magazine spread after previously saying she would never pose for a men's magazine when photos previously taken by a partner were released without her consent. Abrasive conservative commentator Ann Coulter led the chorus of those who denounced Jones's decision to pose. "I totally believed she was the good Christian girl she made herself out to be. It turns out she's a fraud, at least to the extent of pretending to be an honorable and moral person. Now she's just as gross as Monica." Jones defended her abrupt shift, saying, "I meant I would never pose at the time, but I changed my mind. I'm a single mother now, and I need to support my 2 little boys." Gracing the pages of Penthouse isn't exactly the only commonality Paula Jones shares with the scandal-ridden Tonya Harding. As we previously mentioned, the two would later face off in the boxing ring. Number 2. Searcy Hayes, the girl who looks like Ted Cruz. US Senator Ted Cruz has a face that only a mother could love, and even she doesn't seem so charmed by him. Various media outlets have pointed out that he looks exactly like Grandpa Munster and is a noted lizard person. His college roommate said of Cruz, "When I met Ted in 1988, I had no word to describe him, but only because I didn't speak German. Thank you Germans for backpfeifen Geschit. In case you're curious, that means a face in need of a slap." One neurologist even took to Psychology Today to explain exactly why Cruz's facial expressions made him feel uneasy. But while Ted Cruz may not have a face that launched 1,000 ships, his face did launch the adult film career of one person, 21-year-old Searcy Hayes from Natchez, Mississippi. Hayes originally appeared on Maury to prove to her fiancé that he was the father of her son. But she quickly went viral for a different reason, a startling resemblance to Ted Cruz. One adult film site offered Searcy and her fiancé $10,000 for a 6-minute amateur adult film, an offer they quickly snapped up, hoping to buy a truck and pay off their house. So the next time Senator Ted Cruz mentions creating jobs, rest assured that there are at least 2 temporary jobs in film that are directly attributable to him. Number 1. Nadya Suleman, aka Octomom. Nadya Suleman surprised everyone, including her doctors, who were only expecting 7 babies, when she gave birth to the world's first set of living octuplets in January of 2009. But that was just the beginning of the surprises Suleman, dubbed Octomom by the media, had in store. Questions quickly emerged about the ethics of the procedures that led to Suleman's octuplet pregnancy when it was revealed that Suleman, a single mother who lived with her parents, already had 6 children when she had the IVF procedure that produced octuplets. Observers also wondered how Nadya, who now goes by Natalie, would support 14 children and cover a hospital bill that was estimated at $1.5 to $3 million when her main income in the preceding years had been disability payments. But Nadya, who claimed she pinged back into shape after she had the kids, had a plan up her sleeve, or rather down her shirt, posing topless for a British magazine for $10,000. Despite this payday, the critics' fears about Suleman's financial stability proved correct, and Octomom filed for personal bankruptcy in 2012. Later that year, Suleman, who had previously claimed she would never consider appearing in pornography, starred in a solo adult film entitled Octomom Home Alone, which was nominated for 4 Adult Video Network awards, winning in the Best Celebrity Sex Tape category. Suleman also worked as a stripper, but quit after discovering her daughter playing dress-up with her performance attire. Since 2013, Suleman has made her living with her clothes on as a family counselor and therapist, relying on food stamps to help her cover the expenses of feeding her giant brood. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below, and don't forget to subscribe for brand new videos just like this every day of the week. Also, over there on the right, a couple of other videos that you might enjoy if you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.
So you're still here, still watching this video. Maybe you just let it run and you're not actually there anymore. Whatever the case, if you're listening to this, I think you should go check out my new channel. It's called Biographics. It is biographies of notable historic figures as well as present day people. Let me give you some examples. We got the Queen of England, Vladimir Putin. Those just 2 people on the world stage. We've also got Elon Musk coming up, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even the first serial killer, H.H. Holmes? Maybe just H.H. Holmes. We look at all sorts of people, longer form, about 20 minutes long, diving into the story of their lives in a similar style to this. It's Biographics. If you like this channel, if you like my other stuff, you're gonna like this as well. Biographics, there is a link in the description below. Do go check it out, and please do subscribe.